Finally, it's taken me over a year to get this completed, and finally I've got it done. It must have been over a year ago I first moved to a stand-up desk, and since then I've wanted the ability to change between a sit-down desk and a stand-up desk, and I want to show you what that looks like. So if we come around here, what I've got here is the ability to sit down and work and then immediately transfer to stand up and work. And I made these two last week, in the last few days. So I wanted the ability to be able to really easily shift between a sit down desk and a stand up desk, because sit down is great and stand up is great. I spent a good deal of last year standing up. This is what I was working on for a long time and really wanted it to be this simple in this kind of environment. So all I have to do is this, and then to be able to just do that, bring it around here, and then we're ready to go. That was always the plan, and I'm so happy that now I can just shift from standing up to sitting down. I don't know much about ergonomics, but I know there's a couple of key things. You want to have the center of the screens at around about eye level so that you're not tilting your neck down or up too much. You want to try to have about 90 degrees on your elbows. I've got an old cardboard box that I use to help that sometimes. I found that it was a bit flimsy, that there was a bit of a risk of it coming off, so I put a couple of wing nuts onto some pieces of wood that are bolted on. I'm really happy that I've been able to change from standing to sitting in about 20 odd seconds or 30 seconds. I'd like to tell you about this picture. I got this picture perhaps 15 years ago, and it's a chap called Vince Lombardi. It was so powerful. Winning is not a sometimes thing, it's an all the time thing. You don't win once in a while, you don't do the right things once in a while, you do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. So that's the first paragraph. When I read this, it was so powerful that really this is one of the only things that now remains in my office. I subsequently learned about Vince Lombardi. He was an NFL football coach for the Green Bay Packers, won 5 Super Bowls, and in fact the Super Bowl trophy is now named the Vince Lombardi Trophy, which is an attribute to his success. Passed away in 1970. Going back maybe 7 or 10 years ago, it's my understanding that Telstra used Net Promoter Score, which is a survey of customers to understand who are the promoters of the business rather than the detractors. So who are the people who are out there promoting the business? Telstra used this Net Promoter Score, and they were so disappointed with the results because they were relying so heavily on systems and robots and not relying on their own people to be empathetic and to understand and solve customer problems, that they had a Net Promoter Score of -44, which is really quite awful. Fast forward to a couple of years ago, and Net Promoter Score has grown over the last 8 to 10 years since then, and it's now becoming more and more of a worldwide standard. And now Net Promoter Score, whilst it was dropped back then by Telstra, Net Promoter is one of the CEO's key performance indicators, one of the metrics that the CEO is judged on. It's become that important to them in transforming Telstra's customer experience because so many people were so unhappy. Here's an example of a LinkedIn post that I saw recently, and it reads, "Many of you know I work for Telstra." This is from an executive director at Telstra. "Telstra wants to make it easy for all employees to be able to help every customer have a brilliant customer experience, so drop me a PM, a private message, if you have something that you need fixed or if you just want advice on your products and services. I'm not the expert, but I can put you in touch with someone who is." This is an executive director at Telstra, someone extremely senior, and it shows that they're taking customer service more seriously, which is wonderful. How are you frustrating your customers? Because so many companies just frustrate their customers and they don't even know it because they've built systems that don't give the customer the easiest opportunity to get in, to solve their problem and to get out. So what is it like for your customers when they experience a problem? How hard is it to get people to actually speak to a human to get through all of the systems if they've got a problem? It seems to be one of the most frustrating things today. Sure, sometimes you can go in and solve a problem with an automated system or a robot really quickly and it's wonderful. But what about other problems? How hard are you making it for people to solve those other problems? Question. I can't find good staff. Well, there are always good staff out there. They're probably just working for someone else. So one of the beginnings is you have to understand your core values and you have to understand what it is that you want from a person, and moreover, what is the valuable final product, the metric that you want this role to produce. When you've got those things understood, then it comes back to understanding the dynamics of a company. In the last vlog, I said that a company is just people doing stuff, but what is the role of a company? If we know the roles of all of the people, what is the role of a company? Let's take a look at how a company evolves. A company begins where it's an individual, and an individual often starts dealing with customers, and then the individual and the customers are successful, or the individual is successful. And that's most often because they're providing great service to these customers. They're passionate about what they're doing. They enjoy what they're doing. Then you decide to take on a staff member to interact with the customers. But that involves a level of complexity. There are 2 layers of complexity between you and the staff member. So next, you're successful at your job and things are going well, so you decide to bring on another staff member. What that does is that then creates a lot more complexity between yourself and the staff members. So there is then 6 layers of complexity within your organisation just trying to deal with these customers. And then you're even more successful and you decide to employ another 2 people, And so now the complexity increases 24-fold. So what we now have is a whole range of complexity within this group. And of course, that's not even including you, the 24-fold. You're trying to run all of this, and you can see the layers of complexity that occur there. This is one of the challenges in scaling a business. This is one of the real challenges that we face. Next, what you do is you decide to get an office. So really, in terms of leadership, what you are trying to do, all you need to do is to balance the needs of the customer and the needs of the staff. So you are a facilitator between the customers and the staff. You need to ensure that we have a promise that we fulfill to customers, and we have a promise that we fulfill to staff to have the right people who are paid right and doing the right thing. All that we're trying to do here is to get the best customers, the most profitable customers that we love to interact with, and we want to have the best staff. That's all this is. This is just the fulcrum between the two. Our job is to get these people, these customers, to do great work and to be happy doing it, providing the service that these customers need. A company is simply the facilitator between customers and employees. So if you want to build a great company, you need to have a strategy that effectively connects the best customers, the most profitable customers, the most loyal customers, the customers that will pay you more than the average customers because they value what you do more. Connecting those customers with the most valuable employees who want to work there. So a company is just a facilitator. It is just a bridge between these two groups of people. So you need to build a product offering, a strategy that will most effectively attract and retain and capitalize on those customers. And equally, you need to build a strategy that will most effectively attract and retain and reward employees in a culture where employees feel like they're doing their best work. But the rewards are there for companies who build great teams of employees to attract people and retain people, connecting them to the best products. So at the beginning, asking, is your product simply a commodity in a market? Is there something unique and different about what you do that will actually attract people to want to do that? And it's not all about pay. The answer is not necessarily simply paying people more. If someone comes to work in your business, are you a leader or are you a micromanager? Are you trying to attract the best people to build a genuinely great team to do genuinely amazing and authentic and great work? That's where the best people want to work, where there is a passion for what people are doing, where people want to be a part of a team that is fantastic and great. So how do you attract more of the right candidates? Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's as simple as, so you need to place more adverts sometimes, or you need to get more, you need to spend more on marketing. They're great tactics, but at a strategy level, at an overall level, you've got to have customers who want people to do great work and want to pay more for that. And you've got to have a group of people who want to do that great work and understand who is your core employee, who is the ideal employee who can come in and wants to be passionate and do that great work. And then again, you're just facilitating that conversation.